Greetings and welcome to Just Toy Talking Too Much Story Time. So, before I take all of this war paint off, and I have a couple more projects to do, I'll tell this bedtime story. So, kick back. I hope you're ready to have story time. So, story time, the title of this is going to be My First X Trip. Again, for those of you who don't know, I am born and raised in California on the West Coast, and I moved to Atlanta, Southeast. And so I'm still currently living in California at the time, and I'm in my early 30s. So within this time, I want to be clear, I have never, ever done heroin, sniffed dope, done crack, pop pills, acid, mushrooms, nothing but medicinal. And that is the whole truth. So me stepping outside of a box to try and do something that's a fad is just not me. Like, I'm not a person that has pressure. So it had been out on the West Coast for maybe like about 2 years or so. And my sister's, one of her friends, it was her birthday weekend, or her birthday, and so there was really nowhere to go, and so I had just got my income tax money, and I think I put about $300 in my pocket, like, just, feeling like, okay, so put $300 in my pocket, and my sister and I go out with her friend. And so they ended up getting to, I'm not into male strippers. That's not my gig or what have you. And my sister at one time was just like addicted to going to the male strip clubs. And I just couldn't stand it. So that was the only thing. So I was like, okay, it's her birthday. I'll go. Not a big deal. Let's just roll. We get there, we get to the door, and it's $20 to get in. And I said, well, you know what? It's down the street from the house. And I just so happened, my car got stolen privy to this, so I moved where I live like 30 to 35 minutes away from my parents. I ended up moving like where I was like 5 minutes away from where I was raised as a toddler I left the home. So, like, you guys can just take me home because I'm not paying $20 to see no brothers, no male exotic performance. So I'm straight. You guys can go. So my sister's friend is like asking me, where else is the go? So my sister was like, well, the gay club is cracking. So at this particular time, there was a gay club called The Catch. And for those who are in LA or familiar with Cali, they will know the word The Catch or Jules Room. So I believe it wasn't a particular night. So this night was like, you had the men and the women's, bisexual, gay men, gay women, that kind of thing. So we ended up going, and actually I had a good time. So, and it's not that I haven't gone to see drag shows or gone to lesbian bars before or what have you. Just hadn't gone in a long while. And my sister and I would go together a lot. So we get in there, and her friend, she's real homophobic. And she's uncomfortable, she's ready to go. And so, just so happens, there's a brother that lives around the corner from where my sister stayed. And she still stayed with our parents. And we see him in there, and he's like, girl, this is just like, it's just boring. So he's like, I'm about to go to the after hours. And so I'm like, well, what's the after hours? Now, mind you, clubs don't close till 2. They close at 2 o'clock in Cali. That's it. That's all. There's no such thing as you going to a club staying open to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Not a club in California. So I was like, well, what's after hours? So it happened to be on Cahuenga and Sunset. So this is in Hollywood. So this is not any after hours. This is like a club after hours. And he's like, I'm gonna do some X. And I was like, I'm gonna do it with you. So I was like, okay, I wanna go. So my sister's like, I don't know about these popping pills. And she's all panic and stuff. And I'm like, well, you go home with Kalia. I'll be okay. And I had told the guy, I was like, you got me, because it's gonna be my first time trying it, and I want to make sure that there's somebody in case something happens that's got my back, is watching me, because this is drugs, like your brain on drugs, like this is drugs, cuz. So like, let's be clear, you're gonna have to make sure that you have me and be watching me like hawks. My sister girlfriend ended up going home, and she ended up going with myself and the gentleman. Now, the club was off the chain, I will say. So he's giving us like the prereqs to the drug ecstasy. So I was like, tell me everything that it is that I need to know before I embark on this adventure, because I had heard so much about it. For me, it wasn't like the sexual thing. It was just like some people who described it like their energy level, how it changed. The dancing. Of course, everybody spoke about the sex stuff, but that's not why I was going to do it. And actually, at the time, I wasn't in a relationship with anybody. So it wasn't about that. It was just like, I'm going to be out, like, let's just feel this feeling, this vibe, this energy, like, what's going on with it. So he just was like, I got you. So one of the main things that he said that I retained was, whatever mood that you are in, when you pop, is the way your high will go. So if you're angry before you get high, you're gonna have a bad high. If you're happy and joy, you're gonna have a great roll. And at that particular time, they call it rolling. So you rolling. People coming up to you saying you rolling, you're feeling good. Now at this time, him saying that, my sister is sitting in the back, and she's panicking. She's panicking. She's like, cuz, I don't know about these drugs, these pills. I don't pop pills. So I was like, well, which don't pop a pill? Because I don't want to use profane language on my channel. So I was like, well, which don't use, so don't pop it. Just, you go in there, we smoke, and we straight. Like, don't pop a pill. So, but that's my info. Like, I'm the Black Lucy, and that's my info. So, you know what I mean? She's gonna ride or die with me and act out and be there and to the end, because she want to be with her older sister. Vibrant Thing by Q-Tip was out. So when he parked the car, and I was like, well, turn it up. I'm getting out the car. He's just a vibrant thing, this bumping, like, oh, and I'm getting my dance on. I love dancing, so I'm getting my groove on, getting my mind right, because if you get your head right, everything is all right. You know what I'm saying? Toys, they're in. So my sister still having the issues, was like, I don't know, and like when she panicked, she was like, cuz, I'm trying to tell you, you don't know what they putting in it, this, that, and I was like, let's kick back. So we got the Supreme Chow Chow dope. So when he got our money, there was 25 a piece. So I bought three. And then I bought one for my sister. So actually I bought 4. But I kept okay. So anyways, this club had every ethnic culture you can think of. Every mixture you can think of. We're talking from Asian to Latin to Afro-American to Cuban white, just everything. Then drag queens, transgenders, gays, lesbians, asexual, straight, all in this spot. And they're playing like house techno, and I love house techno. So they're playing that, and when he come back, and he's like, okay, pop your pill. Then they came back, look, I don't know if I'm older now. So I don't know if when I was in the 70s, my father had allergies really bad, and he would get the Dristan for your allergies for hay fever. And it would be in a capsule. So if you've ever seen any medication in a capsule, that's what the X was in, like that. So it was going to get into your bloodstream quickly. Plus, I'm raw. like to the bones with my system being clean with drugs, because I'm not a hypochondriac with medications. I don't like Percocets right now to this day. I don't like Percocets. I don't like Vicodin. I don't like anything. If ibuprofen 800 can't take care of it, then I'm not, or Aleve, I'm straight. But of course, if I'm in pain and I needed some morphine and hook a sister up. So, but I'm not that medicine-y drug type trite. I just want to keep, let's be clear. So, we get in the back, and my sister is like, we're sitting outside on the patio, and all these mixtures of people, and so there are some white guys that are sitting on the patio, and they're smoking some like Humboldt County. You can smell the clean of how fresh and bomb this medicinal was. And so my sister's like starting to had calmed down a little bit, and she was like, that smells good. So the guy heard her, and he says, hey, you want it? And gave us like a joint, because still at that time they were still smoking joints, not blunts at that particular time. So he gave it to her. She was like, wow, that's cool. So she was starting to calm down a little bit, and so people are smoking medicinal and everything in the back, and the guy was like, so when orange juice, that keeps you hydrated, drink water. He kept saying, stay hydrated, drink hot water. And of course, the saying back in the day was drink orange juice, that boosts your high. Now, mind you, again, let me go back, pause, and say that X had been out on the market, on the streets, and people had been popping pills and stuff for 2 years. It took me to, I wasn't in the rest, so I was like, this is 2 years, I want to try. So, we've already popped our pills. I'm drinking water, and I'm drinking orange juice and that kind of thing. And then I feel the feeling in my stomach, and my sister feels it in her hands. So for me, it felt like butterflies on a roller coaster. When you have that anxiety, that angst, that butterfly, like that excitement. So my sister starts freaking out. He was telling her, calm down, and he kept having to tell her that. Needless to say, pause. So when I hit what I felt when I was on X was amazing. I will not tell a lie. That is an amazing drug, and there's no high like your first high. And oh my gosh, I felt like the music, I was producing the music in the club, like the music was coming out of me, and I was making all of these people dance, and they were dancing with me because I was producing all this music that was coming inside of me. It was like when I was dancing, and you're dancing by yourself because whatever the speed or the coke has you up, and you're just like wired with energy. And though I've never had Red Bulls before, but if I was to compare it, I would probably say maybe this is like a dozen of Red Bulls. Like, you can't keep still, and you just want to keep moving. The thing that I didn't like was the grinding of your teeth, and I didn't like that. And then later on, I did find out the negative things, like people like get addicted to it where they grind their teeth so badly that they have to go get their teeth fixed, their molars. I've heard stories, I've heard things that, when I started researching things, that it messes with your spine. So it wasn't something a drug that I was like, I had got attached to and made it a part of my staples. It was the idea of trying it, and I can totally see why people are addicted. I don't want to say that I condone the behavior. Of course, this is just a story. It's just story time. And this was over, 17, 18 years ago or longer. Yeah, like 17 years ago. So this is back in the day. Like Erykah Badu back in the day. And I couldn't sit still. The music felt wonderful. I didn't feel the sexual stuff. I did feel beautiful. The world was mine. I felt like America's Next Top Model, that I owned the mansion and the yacht. I had all of the money. I was an international traveler, and I was just 100% glam gorge. Like, I was just her. Like, ooh, everything's beautiful in life, and life was beautiful. I didn't have a care in the world. That is how X made me feel. I'm outgoing and personable and charismatic already. That took it to the 100th power. And so I'm just walking up to people talking. I remember throwing my legs up on the pool table and saying, like, my legs are the bomb, and had people laughing. I was telling jokes. I had people coming up to me saying, you've got to come back, bring her back. Like, she is so much fun. She's got it, like, her energy, you know. And so my sister, therefore, on the other hand, did not have a good trip. And you know how, like, I don't know if those who've seen the movie Mahogany, where Diana Ross, Billy D. Williams' character is about to walk out the door, and she was like, well, I'm so glad that I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy your trip, because that's how I felt. Like, I was gone, and my sister did not enjoy her trip. So, of course, they know that everybody's selling everything in there, and I will not lie, I was told that they're selling crack, coke, sniffs, heroin, everything, anything you can get in the club. This is on Sunset Cahuenga. This is in the nice area of the clubs, you know what I mean, in the area. So there was the owner walking around constantly, looking at people, looking at eyes, those who he's feeling, you know, if they're about to OD, or if there's something wrong, you know, you okay, and are you okay? So my sister was so zooted and having a bad trip, she was sitting like this. And she asked this girl, she said, please sit on my feet. So the girl was sitting on her feet because she said when someone sat on her feet, it made her feel stable. Like, I don't know how you do that, but it made her feel stable. Like, it calmed her nerves. Something psychologically, mentally, it worked for her. Do keep in mind, I know she was having a bad trip the whole time when she started. But I would go back and check on her like every 10, 15 minutes. And so she was like, cuz, don't worry. I was like, Sean, if you need me, you ready to go, let's go, let's go. And then the guy, he was all over the place. He was like, I kept telling your sister the way that you feel. And she had that angst and she had that anxiety. So this is what she's experiencing in her high. And I would just touch people and just rub them like that. And it felt amazing. It was like touching the most purest, gorgeous, beautiful, softest fur, just to rub someone like that, so I could get the sensuality, the seduction, and sexual stuff about it. Like, I could understand the whole euphoria if you were to be intimate on this drug. I get it, totally 100%. And as I was sitting on the steps, there was this white guy, and he was sitting like down by me, and I just automatically just started rubbing his back, and I was like, oh my god, I so apologize. He's like, oh, it's okay, go ahead, you know. He said, you can rub on me. And so it was wonderful for my sister. She was not. So when we got home, I'm hyped and I'm amped. None of my heroes appear on those stamps. I'm like, I can't go to sleep. We got home at 8 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't sleepy. I was still amped and I was still wired. And so my sister asked me, she said, well, can I stay with you tonight? Because I can't have mom see me looking like this. You know, she was like, because I don't feel right. She was like, I don't want you to watch over me. And if something happens, like, she's still tripping out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, I'm feeling so bad for her, but I'm feeling good about my life. When I'm telling you, I'm feeling good about my life. Like, life is beautiful. I don't have no issues, no problems, no bills, no nothing. I've got everything galore that I need in life. And I was like, cuz, come on, stay up, don't go to sleep, let's listen to the music. I'm bumping music at 8 o'clock in the morning. She was like, toy, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, people are asleep. Oh, it was so hilarious. And I called one of my good friends over and I was like, cuz I'm rolling. I tried and I was explaining the high and told him I was still high. He got over there like in 30 minutes. And he's looking at my eye. He's like, your eye. So he's like, what? I said, did you do this by yourself? I said, no, Johnny went with me. So he went in the room and he checked her. He went in my room and checked her. He was like waking her up. He was like, her eyes are rolling to the back of her head and she can't sit still and this is scaring me. And he was just flipping out. And I was just, because your eyes they're all over the place. And I didn't realize that. So your eyes are rolling all over. Maybe that's what they're saying. I don't know what part of the roll, but you are rolling a wave and all of that stuff. And it is a beautiful ride. I'm just, again, this is story time, so I want to give my disclaimers, but it was wonderful. And that was my first trip on ecstasy. And so that was a 20-minute and 27 story. Gratitude for tuning in to another episode of Just Toy Talking Too Much. I'll go wash this war paint off and